15 more years is added because of your obedience. But I don't want to go. Well, then you don't, you just die then. But because he went, some folks can't be leaders because you don't know how to be obedient. That was Hezekiah had a test of obedience. And then, I don't care who you are, you got to submit to somebody. We'll submit to a manager. We'll submit to a supervisor. But we come to God's house and want to be independent. This ain't time for you to get your freedom, liberty movement and going on, carrying on. I'm going to do what I know. You got to submit. He had to submit to the voice of the prophet. Your deliverance is connected to the voice of your prophet. I know you ain't liking this right now. Demons are trembling right now. Because I don't need to go to that church. I can go to any church I want to. Yes, you can. But you better watch whose table you're eating from. You better hear me. Everybody can't operate on me. Yeah, you can go to any doctor you want to go to. But I refuse to let any doctor cut me open, mother. I want to see some credentials. I want to make sure I got a relationship with you. Because if I go to a doctor that I have no relationship with, Yolanda, he is not dedicated to keeping me alive. But one that I have a rapport with, which I can't let him die. I got to do all I can to help. He's a great man of God. He has a wife. He got children. I got to do what I got to do. I got to help him. But if you go to a church that don't know who you are, well, you're going to mingle with the crowd. The word won't be apropos for you. I'm not trying to keep you here. I'm trying to keep you under your covering. Many have left and they dried up just like a prune or a raisin because they disconnected themselves from the vine. And you think that's the problem. When a preacher or a member think that they can outdo the man and woman of God, that's a problem. Whenever you think that you don't need a prophet, you're subject to die. The prophet said, Hezekiah, you're doing good, but you better get your house in order. That's why Hezekiah had enough sense to turn his face toward the wall. See, some of you want to do it your way. It's tight, but it's right. Come on, keep shouting me now. You're stunted. Your growth is stunted. You can't force people to worship God. The prophet could not make Hezekiah do anything. He just gave him a word from the Lord. And that's my job today, is not to make you do nothing. I'm not wasting time on people that don't want to see God. Excuses don't mount up to nothing. It's just like a tumbleweed. It blows when the wind. Every time you make an excuse, Brother Robert, why you can't do for God, it blows in the wind. It's interesting, and I'm closing here. Y'all find that song, I've Been Knocked Down But Not Out, on that same Lemon CD, please. It's on that. I'm still standing on that same Lemon CD that Pastor sung from. Number 3, all right. The problem is this. If you can do it your way, then you don't need a man of God. But because it's not about you, it's about Jesus. Mother, we can be so further ahead if we keep our mouth shut and just obey. Watch this. They find in the CD. Watch this. How you gonna tell me I'm getting ready to die? I'm getting ready to die. But then you're going to tell me to go to the house of God. I'm getting ready to die. But you're telling me to go to the house of God. Getting ready to die. You didn't tell me to go to the hospital. You told me to go to the house of God. See, some of us, we run to the doctor instead of running to the house of God. See, you call your doctor and let me make an appointment with Kaiser and let me make an appointment. Yeah, let me go see what. But he didn't tell him to go find your local doctor. He said, you need to get to the house of God. Why would he tell him to get to the house of God? Because, watch this now, we've lost the level of respect for the clergy. We give more accolades to doctors. We respect the doctor more than we respect, watch this now, the man or the woman of God. Hear me when I tell you this. Many can be healed if you just come to the house of God. I know. You don't see it that way. Y'all being distracted by John and Pastor. You letting that miss your blessing. And you go to the doctor then. Don't come to me. And that's the thing about it. When you walk in this anointing, I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you got to have trust in God, faith in God, that God will heal you unconditionally, but instead of running and paying, and that's the call, man, I'm done. I got to go. I'm done. The coldest thing about it is you will run the Kaiser. They will not see you unless you make an exchange. Before I give you any diagnosis, there is a copay you got to pay. They don't even let you get on the floor of the doctor. You got to stay right here and check in first before I even let you see the doctor. But you'll give him a co-payment. And a man of God will speak life over you. I'm not advocating for your change. The man of God will prophesy healing, wealth, and God begin to move all over your life. And you won't even come back to say, Bishop, here's $1 for your trouble. Then when I see you in the marketplace, the Lord is blessing. Well, he's blessing because of the word that I spoke over your life. You got to hear this today. I'm not trying to be your God, but you got to reverence and respect the prophet. That's the Bible. And I believe if I don't do nothing else in 2010, I'm going to demand my level of respect. You ain't got to clap. I'm going to hold fast to what the Lord has told me. And I'm not worried about the church declining because the church will grow. He already told me that. This year will be a year of exponential growth. We don't want for nothing. We're doing real well. But the problem is that obedience is the key. Stand, everybody. I'm done. Hezekiah got 15 years. I'll exchange that any day, Kelly. And can I tell you this? Watch this, Pastor. It ain't deep. It's just Bible. Let me show you what God gave me. He says, if the heart is right, I will reverse the thing that I spoke over you. You're a little slow this morning. The prophet told him in verse 1 to get his house in order because he was getting ready to die. But because his heart was right, God turns around and say, prophet, you were accurate in your prophecy. But because this man heeded your voice, he turned from his wicked ways. I'm not going to make you a lying prophet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you grace to go back and tell him I'm going to extend his life because he done something. Come on, son. The last say so is not with the man, it's with God. Son, did you hear what I say? They can say whatever they want. God said, I can change it. Today, some of you in here right now, you need